Hey guys, so I wanted to talk about this free software. It's called Sweet Home 3D. I had all this not pre-recorded, but it was recorded while I was doing the video, and I had Netflix open, and it just kind of distorted the whole audio. I'll show you a clip of what it sounds like. Yeah. So let's go ahead and show you how this works. I'm going to try to talk over this and see if I can remember. So that's the website. You want to click on download, and then you want to click on this download button here. It has two versions. One's a free and one's a paid, I think. Yeah, the Microsoft one is. So here's a free one. So this is what it looks like once you have it installed. The top part is for 2D, and then the bottom part is for 3D. So you're going to want to build on the top. Over here on the left side, you're going to have a bunch of things like furniture and walls and doors, windows, and you're just going to you can click and then just drag them over. If you get the paid version, you get a lot more. Let's just go ahead and use what we have here. So up here, these things up here do lots of different things. You can kind of play with them. I'm just going to focus on this one, this first one here, and the others, when you draw out, that gives you like numbers of the rooms, you know, the scale. You can like put a ruler out and it'll like keep it like a blueprint pretty much. So we'll go ahead and click that first one, and you get this kind of instructions on there. You can hold down control and just read what it says on there, and you can it's not that difficult on here. So let's go ahead and hit OK here. And now we just want to left click, and then you're just going to move your mouse over to drag it over, and you can see on the bottom that it's building a wall, like it's building it in 3D. So then you just click, and then you just kind of drag and click, and then you double click to finish it. Or you can keep drawing that way, or hit escape key, and you have your room. You can go ahead and add however you want on here, so you can build other things. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just map out like just some random rooms. Also, if you hold down the control button, it will, and that was part of the instructions, it'll curve. So here, I'll show you. So once you click here and you hold it down, so you can kind of see it kind of does that. So you can add curves, and we're just going to connect that. Gonna make it go the other way here, and hit escape, and that's good. And now you can move it around down here. You can zoom in or out. Just left mouse button lets you just drag it around. You can also render the scene. So if we right click on it and then we clicked that, then we can render an image out here. It's just if you want to see what it's going to look like, but you can do that in a different program, you know, like Blender. Or I'm actually going to bring this into Blender, so I'll show you how to do that here in a bit. But it does have its it has some problems, but let me show you this first. So we're going to add doors. We just click and drag it, and you see that it added a door. And we're going to go ahead and add them to the other sides, and one here. And like I was saying about Blender, you're gonna have issues on both the top. I'm probably getting ahead of myself, but the top exports as an SVG, and the bottom as an OBJ. And when you import them into Blender, you know, the SVG you can extrude up, but you're gonna have holes like in between. You can see those lines. I don't know if you can actually fill them. I tried putting them in Photoshop and filling them too, but you still get kind of like some weird holes. So like I used a difference layer, but and then the bottom one, the problem with that is that it's not very clean. You could always, I guess you can try to remesh it, but you're gonna have a lot of vertices that aren't really lined up, and I'll show you what that looks like too here in a second. So let me do that. Click that, and then I'm just gonna save it as There's a test I had. I'm just gonna save this real quick. Okay, it's saved. Now I'm gonna do the same for the bottom. Right click and then export OBJ. Save. Okay, and then we're just gonna go ahead and click that. Export. And now let's move to Blender, and then I'll show you how they look like when we import both of them. So this is more, I guess, kind of for like just like base building, or not like, I would just use it to kind of build the rooms, kind of to get an idea, and then I would just build around it to with my own models. But this would be cool to just kind of like shape out how you want your room to look, or the area, a map or something. So let's go ahead and import. We'll do this one first. Alright, and you notice right away it's huge, so you're gonna have to scale it down. So I press S and then I'm gonna scale it down. And then the SVG one is going to be too small, so just remember, one's going to be large, one's going to be small. So I'm just going to move it over and make it center, and it's not center, so I'm going to move it over. You don't have to do this, but I like my stuff centered, and set the origin. And so now that's what you get. And now when we go to edit mode, you can see that it did the sharp seams, or the sharp edges, sorry. And you can see on the top that these things, they're kind of layered over each other, like the planes and the vertices, and I'll show you here in a second. But the windows, you can actually remove them. So I'm just selecting them here with L, and select, here I kind of show, you know, how the mesh is kind of messed up. So I'm just gonna select these and then delete them, delete the vertices, and now you have an open hole. Yeah, but let's look at the faces over here. You kind of see what they look like. They're kind of like all layered on top, and here, especially in the corners, kind of all like all jumbled in together. So let's move that over, and let me bring in the SVG now so you can kind of see what that looks like. Alright, it's in there and it's super tiny. You see that? So I'm just going to select it all and scale it, bring it up to that size, and I'm going to do the same, move it over to the center so I can work with it. And then once you go into edit, or I'm going to delete this because we don't need that. I'm going to go ahead and select that. And these little doorways, they actually came separate, so you can't actually, like if you go into edit and you extrude up, it won't control the doorways, so it's just going to be walls. You won't get all those doors and the windows that you made. Let me put that back. Now let's select this, go to edit mode, and you'll see right away that they're all, hold on, I'm just kind of showing all the holes, the gap in between, so it's not going to fill. But now we'll go into edit mode and you can see all these are curves. So easy way to do that is go back into object mode. To make it into a mesh, you can go up here and then go to the operator search and left click that, and then just search convert to, hit enter, and then you want to convert a mesh from curve. Now when we hit edit, you're gonna see there aren't curves anymore. So let me switch over to vertice select. You can kind of see all the vertices. So if we highlight them all, let me press A to select them all. Or actually, here I'm kind of showing how I'm just kind of dragging the vertice and it's connected to nothing. So it's just kind of like a vertice just hanging out So this is what it will actually look like. So if we select everything and we hit E to extrude up, and I'm going to do it on the Z, and this is what you'll get. But you see the hole in between the walls, it leaves that space, so you could try filling that in too, or you could just use that as a base over it, and then just create a plane. I tried doing it this way too, but of course it's not gonna look very pretty. So this would be just more for like reference. So that's what it looks like. But you'll still get the creases in the wall. See the holes. So yeah, that's not good. So I do not recommend that. So what you can do is go to the top view, and you can just start with a plane, and this is going to be the most time consuming, but you know that it's actually going to be correct. So then you can kind of scale that across and then just kind of build your walls, the bottom part at least. And once you're finished with the whole outline, you just select it all and then extrude up just like you did the other time. So let me go ahead and speed. I'm not going to do the whole thing, but let me just speed through this so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So let's just do this. We'll select all of these and then just extrude up, and now you can see the wall. Well guys, that's it. Hope that helped somebody out, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Later.